What's up, good people? Matt from Built for Exploration here. Today we're going to be working on my GT Aggressor Pro mountain bike as I'm trying to go mountain biking with my kids this weekend. Unfortunately, as you can see, I have a bent pedal arm. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade the crankset. We're going to go ahead and change out the tires, do some upgrades on all that. Actually, I have lots of other upgrades we'll go over. I don't know how much we'll get to today. It might take a couple days. These are new Shimano. I believe they are 2-piston brakes. We have some new 50/50 pedals. We have some loam grips from PNW. We have our new tires. These are new Maxxis tires. I've actually labeled them front and rear. That way I know which ones I'm doing. My bike is 27.5-inch rims. I'm going to go ahead and use tubes because I just don't want to deal with having to learn how to use tubeless rims. I also have a new IXF crankset that will hopefully go in. I'm not sure if I will get to all this today. I also picked up this new toolkit, which is specifically for bikes. I'm not sure if it's any good. It does look like it contains just about everything I'm going to need, and we'll go from there. All right, with that said, we're going to go ahead and get to work. We're going to start with tires. Tires are easy. And my tires I absolutely hate. I slide out all the time. I have no traction. I love to eat gravel every time I use these. All right, I'm going to walk you through my process and how I do these specifically. I'm going to go ahead and work on letting all the air out of these. I can break these off. Hopefully this is a good enough angle so you can see. I'm only going to show you guys one of these because it's going to take me a little while. I'm not super fast at this. I got these little tools. They came actually with another set of tires that I bought at one point in time, and they make life easy. I just hook one on, I just slide this around, and it very easily pulls my tire off the rim. And then from there, I can pull them all out. Super, super simple. I'm going to take off this Presta valve. I don't like these Presta valves. I'm probably one of the few people. I'm used to my normal valves, and I will be going back to what I would call my normal valves. And one day I'll remember what normal valves are called. Schrader valves. There we go. All right. Moving on, like I said, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to start with one. So we've got the front tire here, new 27.5-inch slime self-sealing tube, and the Minion DHF, which I labeled F because that's going on the front wheel. The strap off. Pull this out. I very much like the brown wheels. They add a nice, elegant look to the bike, I think. All right. So for starters, we're going to see, is this directional? Do not see any markings. It says this is a directional tire. Oh, there it is, rotation. It means it needs to go on rotating this way. You can see there, I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up or not. It tells you which way. So let's see, my brake goes on the left side of the bike. So what I need to do is actually put this on this way. Just gonna slide this up over top. That way we are following the direction. I just want to put one lip on. Need to figure out where my hole is. It's right there. Pull out our new tube. Take the cap off. Got some straggler rubber band there. All right, then from here, all we are going to do, put the stem in the hole. And the hole doesn't fit. This tube is made for Presta valves only. I have never seen this happen before. All right, well, unfortunately, I just learned a lesson the hard way that unless I drill out the rim, this is not going to fit. So we are going to go ahead and continue using Presta valves because that's what my rim uses. And I want my bike up and running. So we're going to use the existing tubes for now. We will probably upgrade at some point in time. But, well, or we'll go tubeless maybe. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and carry on. Get the tube up in there. And now we're just going to work the tire all the way up and around. Going to try and squeeze this all around while holding the other side. Looks like we might be making some progress. All right. And just like that, we are up on there. I'm going to tighten this down. We're going to double check our rotation. Let's see. Rotation says this way, which makes sense because it's going to go on this way. So we are good there. Now, we're going to go ahead and grab out our manual pump because I don't have a Schrader to Presta valve adapter for my air compressor. Aha. Are we missing this? All right, we're going to screw that on. And then do that I wonder something. Can this actually fit in my air compressor? All right, we're gonna go back at this again. I have absolutely no idea if this works. I am going to screw on this little adapter, and I am going to try and use my air compressor. I do not know if this is the exact same type of adapter for this thing. Hey, it looks to be working. Heck yeah. All right, do we have a max PSI on these? Let's see here. We have a 35 to 60 PSI. So I don't know what the right answer is, but I'm going to do what I do. And that's just kind of split that. I'll probably air it up some more once it's on the bike. And I turn my air compressor back on. It's turned off so you guys don't have to hear all that nonsense. But there we go. We have a nice new tire. Unfortunately, still Presta valves. But that's all I can handle right now. All right, you see, we're good to go here. We're going to go ahead and slide this back up. When we do this, we need to make sure our rotor goes back in the caliper. Might need to loosen this up some. There we go. I'll just tighten up the quick release some. And bam, we now have our new front wheel. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here. I'm going to go ahead and start working on the back wheel. And when I get to this, we will hopefully be back to recording. Otherwise, I'll catch you guys later. All right, as you can see, we've got the tires on. Doing the back tire, kind of learned a couple of different tricks that when you're going to put on your tire, it's kind of easier if you just kind of go around the tire at the same distance. It'll help keep it all on. I also learned how annoying this can be when you've never done this. I actually took out my whole quick disconnect axle and made it a lot easier from there. What else did I learn? I actually learned how to air up Presta valve tires finally. I've had this bike for a year and a half and I had no idea what I was doing. It really isn't that bad. Maybe I need to quit hating on Presta valves. They're supposed to be really good. From that, next up we're going to move on to this crankset. Never done one before. Kind of grab some tools that actually fit. I'll probably do the bad thing and I'm going to use power tools because that's what I do. So let's go ahead and get to town on that. All right, now that I'm no longer being interrupted. Step one, this is an 8mm. We're going to take off this arm. And that doesn't do exactly what I want. I'm going to go to the back side. I'm going to take off that arm too. All right, well, I got that one out. Really never done this before. No idea what I'm getting myself into right now or how to go about this. This thing looks like it has... well, that doesn't fit. Is it the same size? Maybe. Well, that's not going to fit. We're going to figure this out. That's going to be too small. Let's see here. Maybe this thing? So these are all kind of tools that came in this kit. Like I said, I really have next to no idea what I'm doing on any of this. All right, back at it again. I had to take a quick break. I had no idea how to remove these pedal arms. What I learned was you just grab a mallet and you hit it, and it comes flying off like that. Now, I'm not entirely sure. Can I just hit this other one out this way? That does not seem to be doing anything. So this looks like the proper tool to take off the bottom bracket. And it is. I probably can't take the bottom bracket off until I actually remove the rest of it. But let's see. I also have no idea which way this turns. Oh, look at that. Taking off the bottom bracket on this side, at the very least, nice and easily. She does not appear, as a first glance, to make it easier to take off this side. All right, back at it. What I've learned was this is the correct tool right here. You'll see it's kind of a two-piece thing. Works just like actually a crank removal tool on bikes, actually, on motorcycles. You're gonna screw that in, get it nice and snug. And then I'm gonna cheat and use power tools. I'm gonna tighten this in by hand. Then I'm gonna use power tools. And this is actually gonna go really quick because I've actually already loosened this up. And you're just gonna tighten that, push that in, and it'll push it right off. Just like that. And then this comes off. And there is the other side. What's left, I have to remove the last bottom bracket. I believe I don't remember which way the other one went. I know this one goes the opposite way. Let me cheat. I can feel. Let's see. This one threads on backwards. Maybe they both go towards the actual back wheel. I actually don't know the answer to this question as of right now. Oh, there we go. So this side went forward, the other side went backwards. Looks like. We're going to take that whole thing off. We are good to go. I have a brand new assembly for the new crankset. We've got some spacers here in case we need them. Let's see here. Ooh. Do not know if we need any of these spacers. We will see. Assume, because it's a new design, this is a straight through design. This should go right in here. But let's put this in and let's see which side is going to be which. An R and an L. I'm going to assume L means the left-hand side of the bike, so the back side. I could, however, entirely be wrong on this. There's all kinds of crap up inside of here. Let me go ahead and clean this off. Hopefully, it didn't just cause damage, but I've been having a lot of problems with this shifter. And I'm hopefully didn't just total my bike. Well, this one screws in. Screws in nice and neatly. Now let's grab this one. Ah, there we go. Get all the junk out of the way. They actually both turned backwards, but did not do that to take off my other one. So hopefully I didn't cause any real serious problems. This does have Loctite on it already from the factory. I am not certain if any of these tools in here can help tighten it. Doesn't look like these do anything that we will need. So it's probably just hand tight because I cannot do any tighter unless I wrench on them. Which I also don't really want to do. Maybe first we'll just go just a little tighter than hand tight, just to try and ensure they're seated. Just putting a rag over it so I don't damage them any. Here we go. Hopefully that's the right next step as far as crank goes. That's going to go in through there. You do need to mount the gear. Go ahead and start walking through all of that. Open up this gear. Let's see. I assume it goes like this. We've got, ooh, a whole bunch of little things. I'm not really sure what these all are. Let's see. We need, oh, that looks like a good fit. That looks to be working correctly. Not super sure it matters which way the gear actually lines up on there. Let's see, where's the old crank set? Nope, I don't see a difference. There's a lip on this thing. I'm not sure if we want that to be exposed or not. We're going to go ahead and put it on this way because it seems to be connecting fine. Just kind of doing snug right now while we tighten up all four sides. This is a 5mm. Yep, 5mm Allen wrench. Looks like they should be able to be tightened in all on their own. I've got some other ones here. Not sure I need those. Not sure I need the spacers yet, really. Doesn't appear to be the case as of yet. I have 4 of these, which looks like they probably go in here. I'm not super sure why, but we're going to go ahead and snug them all up inside of there anyways. Pry bar. Just working our way through all of these pieces. Oops. Tighten them all up. I'm not going to get out a torque wrench. We're just not going to really wrench down on them. Nothing on a bike really gets that much torque that I've learned. Oof. Probably the wrong answer. Maybe you at home should get a torque wrench and actually do these. I'm going to guess it's probably something like 6 Newton meters or something crazy light. I don't really know. I'm not going to go all crazy. Let's see, we have a couple of these here. We're going to loosen these up, which is the opposite side. Just to kind of ensure that it fits. And now we're going to go ahead and see how this all goes together. Push that through. We got this other side. It's like some kind of cap shot out the back side. Not 100% certain. It's not going to fit on with the bearing. So we're going to assume that it doesn't need to. Oops. right. This cap shot out the backside. I'm not sure it's needed. Kind of just looks like I was covering up some stuff to make sure nothing bad happened. I'm gonna take this 5mm, tighten this up, and hopefully we will be good to go after this. I'm not going to get too crazy with tightening right now because I want to make sure it actually works. They're a good 180 apart, which is good. I'll put the chain on real quick. Which of course is now bound up. Ooh, I see why my whole tire fell actually. Stretch that out and around. There we go. The tire up in there better. That should be good. There we go. And we are looking pretty good, people. We have a spinning wheel again. We are rubbing up on this thing. That's okay. We're about to take all that off right now anyways, because we don't need that anymore. That is the 5mm. All right. How? I really don't feel like taking the chain apart. And take off. Does that fit? Yeah, it does. Remove the gear adjuster cable. I really don't feel like taking this whole thing apart. I might have to split the chain to take this off, unfortunately. Do not see an easy way to go about this. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do one of those don't try these at home moments, kids. Let's see. Where are some glasses and a battery? And we're going to do this in a way that they tell you probably not to. we're going to cut it with an angle grinder, because that's how we do it in redneck land. Grab a couple pliers. We will grab this, bend it out of our way, and get it right off the chain, because I don't feel like taking the chain off and I don't need that anymore. All right, with that said, I put this back on. We don't appear to be hitting anywhere. That all looks like a good sign to me. All right, let's see. I wonder, I said pretty much all new to all of this. Do I have a better size that fits? That's not it. Let's see, 6, or I can grab an 8, because I'm not sure if it's either one of these. There we go. What is this, 6mm? Yeah, I actually don't think that is quite doing it either. My pedal's on, but it never got tight. I might be missing something here. These extra. These are extra. Oh, you know why? Because there's washers in here. Let's see. Let's look at the instructions real quick. Composite flat pedals. We should have put a washer in. Absolutely. It even tells you 6mm. Boy, if we would have looked at any of that. All right, let's go ahead and pop this back off. Can we pop this back off? I don't know. But what we can do is get rid of trash. We're going to take out our little washers. We're going to grab the other side pedal. That way I can put this one on correctly with the washer. The washer. And we are going to mount this pedal now. Hey, this one looks like it turns the opposite direction. Look at that. Ooh, I never tighten these up. Look at me go. Let's go ahead. Oh, that's the wrong one. We need the 5. tighten this up. We are back in business. We have a working bike again. I need to figure out how to take this back off. Look at that. That's what you do. This is just a cover, it looks like. Nope. All right. I am not super sure how I can get that off without marring this up too much. But it's a mountain bike, so it's probably going to get marred up anyway. So let's grab some pliers and see if I can get it up in there and go from there. Phew. Hey, look at that. There is an Allen key on the opposite side. Of course, it's the 6, not the 8. That makes a whole lot of sense, actually. Now we can grab the washer we forgot, pop it on there. Now we can tighten this all up. Oop, that's the wrong way. There we go. Tighten them up. Get the other one nice and tight now too. So it was nice and loose. And there we go. We now have pedals, a new crankset, and with the new crankset, we also no longer need this extra set of gear selector, which looks like that one has zip tie. It's clearly broke that clip already. That look, guy who doesn't really care that much. We're gonna cut this off too, save myself time. Let's see here. That gear selector is this one up here, which we need a 4mm, and we will wrap up this conversion to a single gear on the crank. Fortunately, we are still limited to 8 on the back as of right now. But those upgrades will be coming in the near future as well. Right. I think I'm going to need, honestly, it's just all going to go in the trash because this is all very cheaply made stuff on this bike. We just don't care about it. There we go. Got it to break off. And just like that, we are done with today's work. We have put on new tires where we have learned stuff about press the valves, easier ways to change tires. We've changed it to Crankset, possibly broke some teeth off, but the new one, the new bottom bracket bolts, new bottom bracket went on just fine. Put on this new straight through design. Everything seems to be good, honestly. Probably tomorrow evening we will work on changing out to hydraulic brakes because I have those. Friday I will have new bars, a shorter stem, and we will put on the grips. We'll go through all of that. We will hopefully be up and riding again. Thanks for watching.